It must have been very difficult for you and your mother, Morrigan, to live always hiding from the chantry and its hunters.
Your pitying tone is as unwelcome as it is unnecessary, old woman. There was nothing difficult about our lives in the slightest.
But surely you must have drawn notice from time to time. No matter how powerful you claim to be, you would not wish the full attention of the chantry.
Hunters did come into the wilds from time to time. They did not leave.
And the interest of the chantry was never aroused. I find that difficult to believe.
I imagine you find many things difficult to believe. Your own preference for the leash you wear, for instance.
There are good reasons for the world to fear mages, even despite our best intentions.
Your best intentions, perhaps. Their fear concerns me not at all.
What you said before, Morrigan, about the circle of magi being a leash, do you truly believe that?
Only a fool would think otherwise.
You would prefer a world where young mages were slain by the ignorant for their talent, taught to fear their abilities?
That is what the circle teaches. You fear your abilities instead of reveling in them.
Believing ourselves to be superior over other men is what led to the Imperium and the Darkspawn.
Oh, cannot believe you give credence to such drivel.
Those who do not heed the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them.
Then you need look no further than the elves for an example of what occurs when you allow others to hold your leash.
I have been thinking about what you said, Morrigan, about the circle.
Allow me to leap to the supposition that you disagree.
Let us say that the circle did not exist. What sort of a world would you envision for mages? Would you advocate a return to the days of the Imperium?
I advocate nothing. Nature dictates that the strong survive if they've the will.
So you prefer a life of hardship and fear, so long as you believe you aren't tethered and free to do as you wish.
That is so.
But are you not here because your mother wished you to be? I could leave if I desired to. Of course, it simply strikes me as odd that one who believes in such freedom has never spent any time alone and unprotected.
I have spent time alone and unprotected.
I'm sorry, what?
You said earlier that I have spent no time alone. I have. I left the wilds more than once when I was young to seek more of the world of man.
Did you return to the wilds on your own, or did your mother seek you out?
She would never leave the wilds. I returned on my own. The world of man is dangerous.
And frightening, I imagine, especially for someone ill-prepared for it.
But the circle is no place of safety. 'Tis a place of subjugation.
Is it? It is by no means perfect, I agree, but consider the alternative. At least other mages can understand our struggle. We can help each other.
It is something to consider, I suppose.
Well, that's certainly something.
You must be vastly relieved, Wynne.
Relieved? I do not understand what you mean.
Most your age would spend much of their time preoccupied wondering when they might perish, yet you already know.
Eavesdropping is not considered very polite, dear.
A fortunate thing, then, that I do not consider myself bound by such rules.
In response to your question, I know only that I died once. I do not know how much time I have left, only that it is very little.
That is not so very different than before, surely. You are an old woman.
One who keenly appreciates that our time in this world should be spent doing what is important.
I have always lived by such a philosophy.
How reassuring. You have a barbed tongue, Morrigan. Why do you treat others in this way?
I owe you no explanation. There is no writing on my forehead that says, "Please, guide me."
You are traveling with these people. It behooves you to be civil.
You were too transparent, old woman. Do not bring up our companions when all you wish is for me to be civil to you. I am not one of your circle apprentices, to hang on your every word. I am not Alistair, who sees in you a surrogate mother.
No, it is obvious you are nothing like Alistair.
Take your lectures elsewhere. They mean nothing to me. You do not approve of me, do you?
You have to ask. I didn't realize I was being subtle.
Ah, the old cat still has her claws, I see. And you also do not approve of my involvement with our stalwart Grey Warden.
You are dangerous, Morrigan. Dangerous, cunning, and thoroughly deceitful. But you are beautiful, and he is young. It's a pity he doesn't know any better.
Why, Wynne, I do believe that is the first time you have ever offered a compliment. Thank you.
Only you would take that as a compliment.
Listen, old woman. What happens between myself and him is not your concern. You can approve or not approve as you wish, but this is one thing you cannot influence and mold to your liking.
So you say. I do hope that one day soon you will discover that neither is he.
You mistake my intent, old cat, and you are a fool.
Am I? Well, let's hope so.
Have you given thought to perhaps prolonging your life by forcing another spirit into your service?
Of course not.
I would. Of course, I am still young, beautiful, and my life is my own, while you are bound to that circle. I wonder why I asked. It would be a silly thing, prolonging your life. A waste.
Think what you will, Morrigan. When the end comes, I will go gladly to my rest, proud of my achievements. While you will see how empty your life was. You will realize that because you never had love for others, you never received love in return. And you will die alone and unmourned.
You speak of meaningless things. I need no one to mourn me, old woman.
More's the pity.